Hello everyone, and welcome here to Speed Runners Arena. And welcome into Game 1 of a best of 3 for our bronze place finish in the mouse bracket of the Super Metroid Randomizer Accessible Tournament. I'm Ferran Burgundy. I'll be bringing the action here to you between FenixDown23 and OK Beamer. Phoenix, the 27 seed in the tournament, and OK Beamer, the 1 seed in the mouse bracket. Both of whom fell just short, as Phoenix fell to Essie in the semifinals, and Beamer losing to Simo Rocks in the semifinals as well. And we have a prediction going on in the chat. You can utilize your channel points as we're getting started. Which suit will be found first, Varia or Gravity, as all of the items are shuffled around, but within logic, meaning that all you need to complete a seed is infinite bomb jumps, traditional wall jumping, nothing too out of the realm of crazy, although you're going to certainly see quite a bit of things here, including Beamer with the little moonfall strats here to save a little bit of time. Actually, both of our runners doing that, as Phoenix on the left side of your screen doing that as well. They're going to go to the one item that is guaranteed not to be randomized, and that is the morphing ball. And that will allow access to a litany of other things. So practically in stereo, they pick up the morphing ball. And now we get to see if there's any, when and if there's any variance in which direction they go, and what items they get. As you can see, just little things can change the lead one way or the other, and our construction zone first missile spot leads to some supers. Now, I know our runners are hoping that the next 2 items that they find, that at least one of them will be power bombs, so they don't have to potentially come back to this area. But the game does have its moments of trolliness, as up in the ceiling we have a set of regular missiles, which both are going to take Out of Logic. And we welcome Farfaloo here, raiding in. Welcome in. We're about 2 minutes in to our opening round in a best of 3 between FenixDown and OK Beamer for 3rd place in the mouse bracket. And it looked like we had supers there as well to the right of the ceiling. So back up we go into criteria, and that means that Bomb Chorizo is going to be required. And we will see, well, is it going to be the 95% likelihood of power bombs, or, well, we have that 5% chance that it's vanilla. Either way, they are guaranteed to have some sort of bomb in Bomb Chorizo. So both runners climbing the tower or shaft here, utilizing some same-side wall jumps. Not a skill that is easy to master, even for those who have played the game for quite a while. But Fenix will emerge first into the parlor. And we will get a gander in a matter of moments as to what that item will be and what it means for both of our runners. It is power bombs. It's a 19 out of 20 chance for that to occur. But this is where the runners may tend to go in different directions. I mean, one might be brazen and go up to Gauntlet, as we see FenixDown utilizing the Alcatraz strat here to avoid having to utilize a bomb. And Fenix going to take a look at our 230 missile location, as OK Beamer having a little bit of trouble with the Alcatraz. Looks like the 3rd time's a charm, though, and now he's on his way out. And we have more supers at that last missile location. There's about 4.5 minutes left on the suit prediction here. Sure, I'll go ahead and get into the mix here, as we have an energy tank at the Terminator location, so that is vanilla. And we're going to get a peek at the back of Gauntlet here, courtesy of FenixDown, and looks like a pair of super missiles. So not something that we're going to likely see our runners go for here. So now down into Green Bryn Star, both of our runners will go. And we're going to get an out of logic check here. Oh, we've got X-ray. That could be helpful for the trifecta that is known as the microwave. We've got an E-tank, some supers, and some missiles. So it's still a little light on the power bomb, something you don't like to necessarily see early. And Beamer has pretty well caught up at this point here and is even with Fenix here, and the early super missiles is a set of missiles as well. Now, I'd like to think that both of our runners are going to grab X-ray here, and they certainly do, as it doesn't necessarily hurt to do so. And now we're going to head on down into Edicoons. So far, just slight variances in maneuverings and execution. Really the only difference between the two here. As we have power bombs to start. And high jump boots. That's a nice find. Just allows that little extra bit of mobility down the line. A lot of racers don't like to see it too early in a race, because I think it throws off their rhythm because they're used to getting it later. And now up the climb we go. And up top we have an energy tank. So back out go both of our runners here, and they're going to head on over into Pink Brinstar. Yep, only a few seconds left, 30 seconds left on the prediction, and it looks pretty even, all things considered. Yeah, 5, 6 people voting Varia, 3 voting Gravity. The points are pretty well even. We've got an energy tank at the big pink top. So energy pretty well flowing in the early going. And the Mission Impossible spot is some super missiles. Our runners, of course, looking ideally for both the Gravity and Varia suit, as well as access to Lower Norfair. And doing a few out-of-logic checks along the way here, including 2 we're going to see from our runners most likely. We've got the Spore Spawn Skip. Okay, Beamer gets it first try, Phoenix gets it second try, and as you can see, the lead has shifted back and forth just rather minutely here in the early going. So our Spore Spawn Skip leads to Power Bombs, which Beamer was thinking about holding off on, but decides, yeah, let me go ahead and get this here. So now they're going to go into the Wave Gate glitch. And with high jump, this does make it a little bit easier, and both able to... Oh, I thought first try, but Phoenix... Okay, apparently they're both having some troubles with it here. Must be just pixels off with... Oh, what a fine space jump! So Space Jump is locked by the Wave Beam, but that is going to allow for some aerial traversing and will definitely make the seed considerably easier. It's not necessarily required, but doesn't hurt to have, that's for sure. Alright, big pink bottom missiles give us some more power bombs, and I think with 20... Our runners are probably going to hold off on getting any more. Maybe they might get one more just in case they don't get the Ice Beam, as we see missiles at the Vanilla Charge Beam location. And now over to Green Hill Zone, where the Sonic Pipe has some more power bombs. And here's our first divergence. So Phoenix is going to head back into Blue Brinstar. OK Beamer, meanwhile, is going to head toward Red Tower. So let's see who gets the advantage based off of this. We've got super missiles in the Blue Brinstar PB location. And Phoenix is going to hold off on checking Billy Mays. And Phoenix also, after a moment, decides, yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and get those power bombs. Beamer, at least for the moment, is heading down Red Tower and is going to check the X-ray spot. It's one check that's a little out of the way, but how many times have we seen that it ends up being something important? And this time around, it is some super missiles, which will be left alone. And I think Phoenix is going to make the same play. A little bit of a virtual high five, and oh, Phoenix taking a hit. Has to double back a little bit here, and is now running into a little bit of trouble in the dark, dealing with the enemies here. Finally gets up and over the hump. And Beamer is going to head south in the Red Tower. Going to take a look at the Spazer location. Which is more power bombs, and I don't think that Beamer necessarily wanted those. And again, Phoenix having trouble getting through the room leading to X-ray. But does make it out here. And Beamer, I would imagine, is going to head for Kraid. Most certainly is. With the high jump boots, it is in logic, although they have space jump that again makes it easier. Now those blocks that Phoenix had just shot in the vanilla portion of the game, oh, there we go. There's some supers there in the warehouse hidden missile location. Yeah, in the vanilla version of the game, you need a bomb for those, so that's just to make things a little bit easier and at least mitigate or prevent or minimize a soft lock. So 15 minutes in, and I would say a slight lead to Beamer, but maybe by about 25, 30 seconds. So here is the Kraid fight. Will we see the Kraid quick kill? It's like we will not, so we have the stand up here. Alright, now that they're done dancing in the moonlight here, let's see what the Varia item is. It's more power bombs. I think they're kind of over the power bombs at this point. Phoenix does get the Kraid quick kill, so this is going to save him a little bit of time here. And even things back up. And it's just a set of missiles that Beamer, upon second thought, is going to go ahead and pick up. So Beamer leaving the warehouse at 17:08. And Phoenix decides to grab the missiles as well. And 17:38. So it looks like about a 30-second difference now. It was more than that earlier. As Beamer picks up the reserve tank in the high jump area. And Beamer decides to get Wave, which does put the space jump into logic. Now, Phoenix opts to skip out on the reserve tank. I know that people tend to refer to it as a Kappa tank or a trash can, but it has saved lives, and the lack of it has cost lives in the tournament. So now back up we go. And I guess up Red Tower is going to be the move here. Unless by... I was going to say, I don't think that Billy May... Well, I mean, they have the power bombs, and I guess with Space Jump they have the up logic. So I guess Billy Mays would be in logic at this point. These are the little minutiae that even I struggle with at times. Because in Super Metroid Randomizer, logic is used in the same way that the Smurfs use the word Smurf. Now, both our runners are pretty well even now as they're running into some issues with climbing Red Tower. Beamer utilizes a power bomb, gets on through. Phoenix opts for the power bomb strats. Why not? You've got 30 of them. And into the Alpha PB room for a pair of checks. We've got even more power bombs. And some super missiles. You can see the difference is about one item, and Beamer, well, falling into the proverbial fly traps here. Not once, but twice. And Phoenix gets out clean, so these two are only a couple of seconds apart here. And we have a crystal flash over on Beamer's side as the energy was getting a little low. It'll replenish your energy, but it's at the cost of 11 power bombs, 10 super missiles, and 10 missiles, and both of them in lockstep, grabbing the super missile in the Beta PB room. And Phoenix getting out of the room cleanly, Beamer running into some struggles, so now a slight lead to Phoenix. And even though they are even, Phoenix has executed one additional check that Beamer has not. the blue Brinstar power bombs, which we know has the super missiles. So let's see. Phoenix heads back towards the left, and Beamer's going to do the same. I would imagine they both have Criteria landing power bombs in their sights. So let's take a look. Do we have a suit? Do we have another beam? We have the gravity suit. No, that's not the gravity suit. That's the spring ball. Wrong pancakes. Wishful thinking. Not that I'm hedging my bet. And both of them grab the spring ball, much to the dismay of MM2 Nest Cartridge. I was trying to will them to the suit. Didn't quite work out so well. And now we have another divergence as Phoenix is going to check the front of Gauntlet. Now just Varia, and we have a tracker bingo. Yep. WJG doing triple duty in this case, moderating, restreaming, as well as tracking, and we had a triple super gauntlet. And meanwhile, we have supers down in the Mermaid Missile location. And I think that was an E-tank up at the Maze Missile location. It was a blink and you miss it type scenario. And after going to the replay, yes, it was an E-tank. And now chat's starting to speculate here as Spooky Missiles brings us an energy tank as well. And yeah, there's Billy Mays and Old Mother Brain, and one of those two has to lead to some semblance of progression. But in spite of that, both of our runners are going to head here to take on Fantoon. Now, with 5 energy tanks and even the reserve, it's a bit less than ideal and certainly out of logic. I believe it's 6 energy tanks with the Varia suit and 3 with the gravity suit to put it in logic. Beamer now trying to recoup some energy as well as some missiles while waiting for Fantoon to appear, and runs into Fantoon here and fires the super missile at an appropriate time. Yes, to answer the question in chat, yeah, there are a lot of nicknames for various things. Spooky Missiles is the vanilla missiles right before Fantoon. And that is on me. I should do a better job of explaining what some of those are, so I do appreciate the feedback. So how much? Well, I guess with both of the suits still at large, I would expect a pretty close to full clear of wrecked ship, and we've got missiles over at the East Super Missile location. And I can certainly understand that. Yeah, exposure is certainly a big issue with it. As I'm fairly new to the community, I sound a lot better than I play. So Beamer's still with the lead here. Phoenix now going to go ahead and check over to the east, see that it's a missile, and move along. So we're going to have a safety save here from Beamer, and I would imagine that Phoenix will do the same momentarily as they both head over to the wreck ship Deathy tank. Because you have to go through the spiky room of death to get there, as it's well known. And here's the aforementioned spiky room of death. And Phoenix not saving. So whatever is here, Phoenix is committing to it, Beamer is not. And it's a super missile, and Beamer's going to reset. Phoenix has to go with it. So this will put Beamer back into the lead. Well, I guess maintain the lead, I should say. It was certainly a gutsy play. But when you're at this level, that's a lot of what it takes. Just calculated risk, as it were. So Beamer now up in the attic, clearing out the enemies, and is going to head right over to what's known as the assembly line. Because you have all those robots on the, the conveyor belts there. And Phoenix is not going to check the rest of wrecked ship. We'll see momentarily if that was the wise decision or not. And we have missiles up on the assembly line. So this is big. If any of the 4 items that Beamer finds here are some major form of progression, a suit, speed booster, I don't want to say that it's an insurmountable lead, but it certainly is going to make things difficult going forward. And we have regular bombs that are speed blocked. And we'll get a look here at Old Mother Brain, and it's super missiles. So, is Billy Mays hiding the goods? Well, we've got power bombs up at missiles in the sky. I mean, there's the bowling alley missiles and the gravity suit location. The vanilla gravity suit location, I should say. But that's out of logic. Because Fantoon's out of logic. So yes, that's a good point. So I think Phoenix, I don't know if Phoenix recognized that and realized that the top of Rex ship wasn't the play. But who knows, there may be something else here that Beamer will find that may cause Phoenix to backtrack. But we'll certainly see. So as Beamer goes bowling, Phoenix is going to take a look at Billy Mays, and it sounds like it's going to be a heck of a deal, and it is. There's the gravity suit, but wait, there's more. Act now and we'll throw in a set of missiles at no extra charge. Now, I would imagine, I mean, it is possible that one of these two things could have Varia suit, in which case we've got ourselves an interesting race. Oh, it's Speed Booster! What a twist! Not gonna bother with bombs, it looks like, and is gonna move on, and we've got an E-tank at the gravity suit location. Yeah, I think at this point they have 30 power bombs. There's not really any pressing reason. I mean, they have up logic and space jump. I don't know if there's, other than maybe saving a little bit of inventory, but again, with 30 power bombs and the skill of these two runners, I don't think either of them are going to run out necessarily. So Beamer, meanwhile, is getting out of dodge and realizes there's only a couple of logical checks left. And Beamer... Oh, is Beamer doubling back? Oh, well, he's got Speed Booster. I guess he's gonna do an out-of-logic check at the Climb Supers. Meanwhile, we have super missiles up at Main Street. And the Mount Everest Supers was a reserve tank. And we've got Supers at the Climb Tower Supers. I mean, it makes sense for Beamer to at least think about checking this, as we've got missiles in the hidden wall in Mama Turtle. And a pair of missiles, so Mama Turtle not really bringing anything of note. Yeah, I believe, Waterway is the only check that hasn't been done in Brinstar. Otherwise, Wreck Ship and Crateria have been full cleared between our two runners. And now Phoenix is going to head into Yellow Meridia. Let's take a look in the proverbial beach. And that has some supers. The ammo's pretty well in go mode. Marsworm Gravity was in Billy Mays. Phoenix skipped the top half of Wreck's ship. And we have, I believe that was missiles and power bombs at the watering hole. Reem noting in chat that Varia could be, or would be speed locked. It's possible it's at Bubble Mountain. It's possible it's, I mean, it could be here in the Aqueduct. Or it could be in Waterway. So that, yeah, there's quite a few speed required locations. I mean, it could be in the sand pits as well. That they have Spring Ball. Oh, Phoenix looks like, oh, he's gonna do a snail. And successfully does it. Wow. And there's a power bomb. And charge beam. Meanwhile, OK Beamer is going to head into Waterway and see some missiles for it. Yeah, charge doesn't have much use until plasma is found. This is correct. And we've got the left sand pit that has Varia's suit! Oh, wow! And we've got some supers, which seems kind of anticlimactic, all things considered. And yeah, it looks like Spring Ball was the progression. Yep, Spring Ball was at the Criteria or landing power bombs. Well said, Greg Hammett. Yes, so the Spring Ball hype earlier, mistaking it for Gravity Suit, was justified. Thank you for bailing me out on that. It's as if I knew what I was doing all along. But in fact, he did not know what he was doing all along. So Phoenix is going to take a peek. There's power bombs at the Croc Escape. And Phoenix doesn't have speed, so is going to have to go through the Cathedral. Oh, we've got Screw Attack at the Cathedral. That is a nice find. Exactly, not what he was hoping for, but he'll certainly take it. That will make traversing through Lower Norfair considerably easier. And we have a reserve tank at the bubble missiles. Yeah, screw attack is better than any beams. It's for a majority of the enemies that aren't, obviously not bosses, it's an insta-kill. You just roll right through them. So this is now a significant lead for Phoenix. A 2,000 damage per frame. Now, if only it was at Billy Mays, then I could say, Billy Mays here for the Screw Attack 2000. So Beamer, no snail clip required because he has speed, and is going to gladly pick up that charge beam. And Phoenix gonna head out of the way here to do a rare check of Gold Chorizo's area? We've got an E-tank. And a pair of missiles. Meanwhile, we have Beamer working on Botwoon, the eel, or snake, or whatever the heck that is. Serpent, maybe? I don't know. I'd go with eel because I still have nightmares about Mario 64's Can the Eel Come Out to Play? Was that Ice Beam? Going back over the replay on that, I think that was Ice Beam just beyond Botwoon. In fact, it was as I look at the replay. It'll certainly be ice to see that. Perhaps on the doubling back. Oh, and Phoenix after... Oh, hey, we've got Plasma Beam for OK Beamer. At the Precious Missiles location. And just some PBs at everyone's favorite mouse. So that enables Microwave in a heck of a time to do it. True, it's not the full Microwave without the ice, but... I mean, Beamer certainly had the chance to do that. Decided to bypass the ice beam, might figure, alright, I'll just get it on the way back, but still a fairly quick fight. Yeah, exactly, it's on defrost setting. And a reserve tank, which Beamer is going to pick up at the Vanilla Space Jump location. Meanwhile, Missiles of Shame and the Power Bombs of Shame location. Little trouble there with the Metal Pirate. but Phoenix able to take it out. And Beamer, meanwhile, recognizing Ice Beam and picking it up. So we have a question, chat. Is Beamer likely to find Varia quickly? Given the locations that are left, I would imagine that this is going to be his next check is the sand pits. It's just a matter of whether he chooses left or right first. Phoenix, meanwhile, working on the Ridley fight. And Beamer goes down the right one, which is the incorrect one. And that is a fair point from Reem that, yes, if Grapple was in sight, that would lead OK Beamer over towards Chak Tool. And we don't want to see that. What we do like to see is the raid here. We do thank you, Light Quars, for the raid. Welcome on in to Speedrunners Arena. This is a Super Metroid Randomizer Accessible Tournament third place race. It's best 2 out of 3. This is game 1 in that best 2 out of 3. Between OK Beamer, the 1 seed in the mouse bracket, and FenixDown23, the 27 seed. So Beamer, 49 minutes in, can't be thrilled, just picking up Varia, and has to be feeling considerably behind. Both runners with only 1 boss left to take out before Mother Brain, but Beamer still has to go all the way into Lower Norfair, where Phoenix, meanwhile, just has to escape and take out Dragon. As we've also got a Firefly Funhouse check, which just has some missiles. And yeah, given everything, I believe Beamer is definitely in go mode. It's just a matter of how quickly. I think Phoenix is probably looking for ice and some of those other things. That's where we're getting some of these additional checks. And for each check that Phoenix does, it just cuts a little bit into the lead. Looking for ice, looking for speed. We've got super missiles at the Spring Ball Maze location. We've got Beamer. Looks like we have a frozen screen here for the moment. So not sure if there was anything and if it was picked up or not. But yeah, ice and speed are the 2 things that are holding Phoenix back at this point, and that is just chipping away here. We've got supers at the double chamber missile location. And we have power bombs at the wave location. So I think Phoenix may give us a good amount of Bubble Mountain Upper Norfair checks here. Oh, no worries, lady. Yes, Ice was at the Botwoon E-Tank, and Speed was at the Bowling Alley Missiles. And there's Grapple Beam. Oh, I hope Phoenix doesn't think that... Well, we'll certainly see. And there's some missiles at the Speed location. Now, Phoenix did skip out on Speed Booster, leaving Wreck Ship after checking the Death E-Tank location. And it turned out that Speed Booster was at the Bowling Alley Missiles. We've got an E-Tank here behind the green door, which Phoenix, a little low on energy, certainly doesn't mind picking up. There's Spazer and a set of missiles. Now, Phoenix, of course, has not found Plasma yet. We know that is at the Precious Missiles location just before Dragon. And, oh, is Phoenix heading toward Croc? Oh. Oh, boy. Well, this just got interesting. We don't know it, but all Phoenix had to do was head back into Meridia and handle his business, and he would have stumbled upon all the things that he's looking for. But I mentioned that lead being chipped away. I think that it has, now with this Crocomire check, it has been fully chipped away, and it is OK Beamer in the lead here. So Phoenix sees that the Croc E-Tank is missiles. Hopespell, yes. This is a best of 3. This is game 1 of the best of 3. Game 2 is set for immediately after this matchup at roughly 12:30 p.m. Eastern. And OK Beamer has dispatched of Ridley, and now just has to get out of Lower Norfair and head on over to Torian and Mother Brain. And Phoenix doesn't realize it, but in the game of hot or cold is right now Arctic. Heading into the cosine missile room. And there's an E-Tank. And Beamer has everything he needs, so he can skip all these checks along the way. As we see missiles in the Indiana Jones spot, that's rolling vanilla. And the grapple beam is an E-Tank. And, oh, Phoenix, you can see, expressing some frustration, firing some missiles at the E-Tank. will say I can't recall what was in the Ridley E-Tank, but I would imagine that Phoenix had checked that while he was down there. But other than that, the only items that we haven't seen were Ice Beam and Crumble Shaft, which Beamer did check, but his screen froze, so we were unable to see. Oh, it was a missile. Okay, thank you for that. I'd like to think I've done a pretty good job here of tracking the, where the 100 items are. Considering that was, I think we're up to 96 of them. We have Shack Tool, Ice Beam, and Crumble Shaft. Those are the only places that have not been seen. Yeah, not important either way. But Phoenix now oh no, is Phoenix gonna back and try to, what, mock ball into Ice Beam? Or was that just an errant push of the... Oh no. Phoenix, no. Well, we're gonna see it. Oh yeah, I forgot Plasma Beam wasn't checked either. I knew I was forgetting something, but I was like, wait a minute, there's one out-of-the-way check. And there's another E-Tank at Ice. And it's just a missile behind the Crumble Shaft. Yeah, Phoenix already checked GT. So yeah, the only items unaccounted for are Shack Tool and Plasma between our two runners. And, I mean, Phoenix has played extremely well. He's just been doing his impressions of that old series, The Increasingly Poor Decisions of Todd Margaret. Beamer checked right sand pit. Phoenix did not. So Beamer is now saving at the ship, and to answer the question in chat, so in order to get through Meridia, he needs a way to get to Botwoon. Usually you would have the speed booster, but Phoenix skipped out on the speed booster. Some runners can do something out of logic, which is either an ice or speed crystal flash, or even a bomb crystal flash, but one of those three items are what Phoenix needs, and he has found none of them as of yet. But again, that's not something that's expected of somebody who is new to SMRAT. That is something that is definitely out of logic, and Phoenix is going to check the right sand pit and is going to be thoroughly disappointed. And now, did Phoenix save? Oh no, Phoenix is going Shack Tool on us. Ice Beam was at the Botwoon E-Tank, and Speed... Oh, he did save, but he's just going over to... Okay, that makes sense. Speed was at Bowling Alley, and then bombs were at Wreck Ship Reserve. right behind speed. Oh, and I think Phoenix is going to give us a little moonwalk Shaq Tool action here. But as you can see, racing SMRAT, it's a game of decisions, and in this case, it was just decisions on Phoenix's part that have been all awry, as another E-Tank and... yeah, Beamer looked behind, but was quite a bit ahead. All he really had to do after beating Ridley was go into Meridia and take the path toward Dragon and Botwoon. You almost wish we did mid. Well, I have a feeling that Phoenix might be a little tilted. Oh, and yeah, there's the reset. But here's the thing. Ice is after Botwoon, so... I mean, realistically, you would need... I mean, if you can't do the Crystal Flash clips, which I know I can't, that would require going to get Speed Booster and wreck ship. So it wasn't quite that simple. So it turns out that... oh, and I think Phoenix is realizing that, and... oh, wait, it's going to be grinding up. Okay. Yeah, I don't think it's possible without bombs. So, ultimately, yes, the decision to skip out on wreck ship, which seemed good early on... oh, Task can do it with just Spring Ball. Yeah, so that is a lot to ask. Now, Beamer is already at Mother Brain and has fired the 60 super missiles in and is damaged down to the 3 energy tanks. So Beamer is assuredly going to get the victory here in Game 1 in this best of 3. And the crucial decision that caused it was skipping wrecked ship, the top of it. And a good point in chat that, yeah, you don't see too many things as far as the advanced tricks outside of the rat bracket. Maybe, well, then again, apparently it was in, there was, yeah, Knucklehead did so in the gerbil bracket as well. So, yeah, I guess it depends on what tricks you know and which ones you don't. That's kind of, that's a combination. Tricks are certainly good, but there's only so much that the tricks can bail you out on. Well, the reason that wrecked ship tends to be skipped out on is the minimal amount of checks that there are compared to other areas. The ship itself only has 8 checks out of the total 100. If you include the missiles in the sky and the maze missiles, that's 10. So it's 10% of your checks in that particular area. Yeah, criteria, while it's spread about, that has your other 11 checks. Yeah, Brinstar has the most at 31. So that's one that a lot of people tend to focus on in the early going. Meridia has 18, Upper Norfair has 20, and Lower Norfair has 10. So Beamer has dispatched of Mother Brain and now just has the escape, which will be considerably easier with the speed booster. And Phoenix looks like is damaging down for a Crystal Flash attempt. But they're juicy, yes. No, I agree. And as a not-so-talented runner, I am someone who checks everything. I am like James Woods in Family Guy. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. But yes, at this point, the runners pretty well know, like, if you haven't found a particular suit or something in a certain period of time, you know you're behind. That's just kind of the long and the short of it. Yeah, some people have belief of certain checks as opposed to others. It's like superstitions in any competition. And oh no, Phoenix takes a death. I think with that death, once Beamer is out here, although I was gonna say, are we getting a little bit of replay on Beamer's side? What's? Oh, we lost Beamer's stream. Okay, I thought so, because I was like, wait a minute, we're getting a little Groundhog's Day action going on his side with the escape here. Well, this just got even more interesting. Well, okay, Beamer might have just crashed. He doesn't appear to be an IRC now that I've hopped into it here. I mean, that is extremely unfortunate. It was probably about... yeah, about 8 seconds away from finishing the seed. Give or take with those steam damage boosts, or lack thereof. Okay, and we do have a dot done now from OK Beamer. And we have the subsequent forfeit from FenixDown. Yeah, Beamer saying PC literally crashed on the finishing straight. So it is official, despite a little bit of a delay thanks to a PC crash. OK Beamer has finished with an official SRL time of 71 minutes and 8 seconds. And Phoenix has immediately forfeited thereafter. And our restreamer and tracker WJG giving the bad news to Phoenix and IRC of the locations of ice bombs and speed booster, and I can't repeat what Phoenix said in response. We'll just put it that way. Well, I could, but I'd never be allowed on Speedrunners Arena again. So we'll just, we'll leave that to your imagination. So this seat had a little bit of everything. It had almost a full clear between our two runners. Game 2 is going to be within the next 15 minutes. It is officially scheduled for 12:30 Eastern, but we are going to shut down stream, kind of reset here, and we will be back. We'll give Phoenix a little bit of time to detiltify. Okay, Beamer's stream is back up, so we're going to make sure that the technical issues are out of the way and get everything re-squared away here. We'll give a chance for proverbial cooldown and just about everything else here. And yeah, Beamer noting, YPC crashed literally on the finishing straight.